dance with only your undies.
No, you gotta take all your. I'm gonna read the script about living on our boat. You wrote it upside down.
No, I didn't.
Living on a boat is a lot of hard work. We've been on happy seas now long enough to have changed the oil on every system that needs it. This is how we do it.
You have one for the ring here and then one for the screw.
You don't need to lubricate?
Nope. Those are usually pretty good.
Okay. If I have bad fuel, I can see at the bottom there a separation, right? And I drain the water out the bottom.
You can see the water separation at the bottom. If you got like old fuel, pull that filter out, it'll be black. And it'll have all kinds of junk floating in there. That's usually when you gotta get your fuel tank polished. Okay. Or just remove all the fuel. Same thing for the generator rake-or.
Alright, so you got the dipstick out and that goes...
It just slides over the dipstick right here. Extra oil filter.
Okay, so you
down here.
Need the right diameter hose, right?
Not really. I mean, you're pulling out, so it's not gonna leak.
But you want to snug enough that...
Yeah, not super loose. For these engines, we only use the Shell Rotella 15W40, and just stick with Shell Rotella unless you're like in the islands in a pinch. If you can't find Rotella, just find like whatever 1540. But then when you find Rotella, I would change it.
So I see they have two places where you can put oil, right?
Yep. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? Okay.
This one's usually easier. Sometimes like this arm will be right over it in some of the other boats. I can't get to it, I have to go down here.
So you just check the dipstick, see your right range.
Yeah, those dots on their dipstick, it's not a full and empty, it's more of a in range. As long as it's in between those dots, you're good. And if you don't have a can of diesel with you, and a little can, you can just get a little fuel in here at least. Otherwise, you'd be sitting there cranking the engine all day, trying to prime it.
And it doesn't have to fill all the way to the top, just
get some in there. So when you start it up, you can let that fuel pump fill the rest of the way. Hang hand tight and then give it like a half turn or so just till it's like pretty snug.
And this is called the secondary filter, right?
Correct, yeah, that's your primary.
Primaries are rake-or.
I wouldn't do that with one of these. Yeah, those, I always put clean diesel in. These are usually pretty clean.
So you got a pad down there.
Yeah, you'll see it'll leak a bunch of oil out. Sometimes you get lucky and it doesn't.
Okay.
Very good.
Grab a bit of oil, lubricate that, and that's so it doesn't get stuck when you're trying to get it off next time.
Yep, and it helps it seal better.
Hand tighten, got the towel around the ratchet.
Just so I don't scratch it up.
So it doesn't scratch it up.
But it depends if you care what it looks like or not.
So spray nine's the way to go?
Yeah, it kind of disintegrates the fuel and oil.
So what is that?
It should be your drain line.
Okay. What is going on here? You have two different diameter hoses.
You're making it fit in there so I don't have to use a hose clamp on it.
So hose clamp just to that drain. So that's a Saildrive one.
That they're super finicky about getting it in the middle. The smallest amount will change. It won't show it all, and then you put like a splash in and it's over.
What the belt tension? Is there any way you just feel it?
Yeah, just feel it. If it's got like a 1/4 inch play, you're good. Your heat exchanger is,
Okay.
but I can add some to that because it is low. I put it like 3/4 of the way up.
You feel it from here or from there?
Usually you feel it in here because this is full of coolant.
Okay.
That's just the expansion tank. You just fill it up to the top in there.
Okay, just so it's level.
Just enough so you don't spill when you put the cap on. As long as it's like right at the top of this, the top of the heat exchanger here, you're good.
What is that gray hose that doesn't seem to connect
That's
in?
your blower hose.
Okay, so the blower is up.
Yeah, it
On the
goes
top left.
up back there. This is a raw water hose, exhaust hose
Raw
for
water
your generator.
exhaust. And then below that?
That looks like a fuel tank fill hose.
Oh, okay. It's fuel tank
Is
fill
your
to the
fuel tank fill? I'm assuming it's right there. That goes like, yeah, it goes straight through the bulkhead here under that bed where your fuel tank is.
So you said start it up, take it off of the...
Yeah, usually you can pull it out and there's like a little lip. You can just kind of hold it on.
And that's just to make sure the fuel is all primed up in the filter.
If there's any air gap in it, it'll just force it out.
And then you just check to make sure there are no leaks.
Good, make sure there's no leaks. And then check all your levels.
Okay. So recheck all the levels.
So that's good. That's good.
Gonna do the first lube oil change for the generator today. Got the oil extractor set up. Got the oil filter here, wrench in case we need it. I'm just gonna turn on the generator to warm up the oil. The first oil change is supposed to be done at 50 hours. I'm a little bit over on that. I've been procrastinating on this. Generator should be warmed up. I'm gonna turn it off now. We're at Little Farmer's Key here. I've got the captain of Dire Straits, champion of the Cruisers race, third place finisher, helping me out. This is Dire Straits. We're neighbor boats, and a beautiful morning for a race today. Their C-Class regatta is later this morning and in the afternoon, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
This is the Northern Lights 9 kilowatt generator. Here's the dipstick. This is the oil filter. So they recommend doing an oil change after the first 50 hours. That's what we're doing here.
So stick the tube in as far as you can go and then start pumping.
Oh, it goes further than I expected.
Usually you can kind of feel when you touch bottom of the pan. You're probably curling around in the bottom of the pan, but
Maybe about there. It is slowly filling up with the vacuum here. And this oil is pretty warm.
that's what you want. You want it kind of any contaminants and stuff stirred in with it, and also being warm, it extracts a lot easier too.
Yeah, a lot faster.
Yep.
Can't change the oil in a better place than this.
Yeah. I'll put that in the fridge.
That might be it.
Could be. Just take the whole tube out usually. Uh-oh. Got that kink in there.
Thoughts?
Yeah. You're doing the right thing. I mean, twisting around like that and putting a little pressure on it. That's weird.
It's fun. So there's another kink. There must be a bend there or something.
Glad you got it out.
Yeah, me too. Next is the filter.
Next is the filter. The faster you can get it off, the better.
Okay.
Just get a little bit of oil from it and just whip the seal.
Filter is off, and I tried to wipe up. There's a little puddle there, so I'm gonna clean that up. Screw it back on. there are two places where you can put oil in.
I would recommend filling it from the top. The one on the bottom there, on the water pump, it goes in really slow. So you know how much it's supposed to hold, so I put in close to that anyway.
Close to it, not.
Yeah, and then you'll want to run it before you check the level, so it fills the oil filter up, and then you'll do your final check of your oil level and add any oil that you need after that.
It says 3.5 liters. This is, well, 5 liters, and I used some. So we'll estimate it. It's not even reading yet. Could be one of those that doesn't read, and all of a sudden it's full.
Yeah, it's a pain if you overfill it.
Last night, Edward told me that we can't use the generator anymore until we change the oil. And I was like, maybe Keith knows how to change the oil. We need the generator.
I should ask Keith, because he's right here. I had just cats add this thing. Supposedly, if your impeller breaks loose, it will catch pieces.
What is it? Like
somehow.
A filter or something?
I actually don't know how it works. But I imagine maybe you open this up and you fish it out or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's some kind of like a little stringer basket. That's a great idea.
While I was looking at it this morning, this is rubbing a bit right here.
Oh.
Maybe I'll just put some cushioning here of some sort.
Would be a good idea. Right there.
Oh yeah, it's black right there. So here's where it's rubbing for sure. Right there.
You might be able to shorten this up
Yeah.
and drop it down below it then.
Shorten that hose and then that would work.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will just do this for the time being and watch that. What I find with boat maintenance, Keith, if you're not paying attention, then the next thing is you're not going to have coolant or it's going to...
It's a good idea. Just kind of look over everything and make sure nothing looks out of place or worn or anything like that. And it's just like when you take your walk around your boat and check your rigging and stuff on a periodic basis. It's good to, and if you keep a nice clean bilge in your engine rooms and in here, you can always see if you got a leak or something's going on.
Time to check the oil again. It's dropped to 1/4 from a half. Right there. So
That's the oil change.
when we're done, now it's all cleanup. Fun part. Okay. Just a look over of the generator here. No leaks at the oil filter. Got hand tightened pretty well, so that's good. The dipstick caps are all tight. The coolant level is on the full side, so that's good. I'm gonna think about this and put some padding or reinforcement there. It gets warm, so have to be something that's heat resistant so it doesn't rub or chafe. This is actually the oil drain down at the very bottom here, according to the manual. And I thought at first maybe you just drain from there somehow, but there's no way really to capture the oil. It'll just leak out here and cause a big mess. Right. Okay, thanks a lot, Keith.
All right, you bet.
Thank you very much.
Today we are going to show you how to change the oil in your engine. You're going to need 5/8 ratchet. So you put it in here, press this button, and it'll bring it in. See that little screw right there? We'll use this 5/8 ratchet to undo that just a little bit, because when you open it all out, oil will squirt out, and you don't want that in this water. So you're gonna need a bucket, a container, and funnel.
And what do I have my snorkel mask for?
In case anything falls in, because we lost a bungee cord and a piece for our outboard already.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, action. Good job. Keep it there. Staying heavy? Okay, got it. There we go. Captured it all. Didn't even lose one drip. One coming? Okay, that's probably good. Alright, grab me the screw again. Alright. Great, we got all the oil. Thumbs up. Okay. Turn this up here.
So now we're gonna do the lower gear oil. We're gonna need different tools. So we're gonna need a screwdriver, one of these. We're gonna need the biggest flat one you have. So the screw is here.
That's the top one. Where's the bottom one?
Here.
Down there. Okay, so we're gonna unscrew the bottom one first. Oh, there we go. Got loosened on the top.
And if that screw falls, it'll fall into the bucket.
Yeah, better. Otherwise we'll be in trouble. There we go. Hold it, catch all the drips in the red. So when you unscrew the top, more oil will come in because the vacuum is released. Good, there we go. Yeah, get that. Aha. Got it. There, like that. Oil's coming out.
We're gonna screw this in.
That side. This side.
This.
Now we're gonna grab the lower gear lube. Now be very careful here, we don't want to drop this in. Go slowly and let's see how it goes. Oh yeah. Interesting.
Oh, it's green.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let's go slowly because what'll happen is the oil will come out here and then we know it's full. Oh, there, it's coming out, it's coming out. That's good. I'm gonna unscrew this and I gotta put the cap back on at the same time. Bean.
Got it.
All right. Got that part in. Now we have to fill up the other oil.
What?
What? Good. We need a smaller. Oh, it does fit. Good. Put it in there and don't let it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Right between the two dots.
Can I remove it now?
Yeah.
Hi, GoPro. Got it.
Good morning from Georgetown. Today I am doing the last of the oil changes that I've been dreading to do. I've got the Yanmars done, which was done back in Florida before we left. We also did the generator oil change with Keith on Dire Straits, and we changed the oil on our dinghy as well. The last one is a Seawater Pro watermaker. Our Seawater Pro high pressure pump is actually just right inside on the front club here. So it's installed underneath these seats, and this is where the high pressure pump sits. It's mounted on a steel bracket. The high pressure pump was installed outside of the boat to try and reduce some of the noise that it makes, as it is pretty noisy. You can see the sight glass here has a red dot. The oil is right in the middle, and there's a dipstick at the top. Hi Everett, you gonna help me do the oil change?
Yep.
This is where we're gonna keep the old oil. Got the funnel, get some paper towels as well, and we're just gonna use some of the Rotella or Remula engine oil. It's 15W40. So the first thing to do is we are gonna remove the drain plug, which is just right underneath here. Unscrew that, capture all the old oil, and then replace it from the top. So I'm thinking this would be the easiest oil change, or I'm hoping it would be so. We gotta find out what wrench this one is. Everett's gonna help us find the correct one. Okay.
I have a 17.
Okay, 17. Sure, try it out.
Nope, too small. The 18. A bigger wrench. Also too small. 3/4 is too small. It's too small.
What? So when we can't find one that fits, use this one. That's called an adjustable wrench. Can you make it big?
I use as big as we can. It's too big.
Too big, okay. So we can just make it smaller. Of course it misses. God. And there's our nut right there. I'll stick this nut back on. All right. Of course this is too big. This is not going to fit in. This is like a boat project, which is usually what it is. I think this is the easiest oil change. But what happens is my filters, the narrowest one here, is not going to fit in there and allow me to pour the oil in. So Shanna has a better idea here.
We're gonna fill oil into this plastic bag and then put the bag over top of the opening.
So I have to make sure when we cut it, we don't lose that plastic piece. We're just gonna use a bigger bag. Pour it in here. Actually, I'm gonna twist this and then snip that, hold it with my finger, and let it run in like this. At the sight glass, the oil level is right at the red dot, and I checked with the dipstick, it's right in the middle. So we got that oil change finished off, and we should be good for a little bit. We've been running our generator more than expected here, making water, doing some baking, so I know our generator maintenance is coming up pretty soon as well. We've got about maybe 30-35 hours before I have to redo the generator for our second oil change. So that'll be the next maintenance, and we'll go from there.